Looking for a fast-charging, ultra-responsive stylus for your iPad? Meet the 2X Fast Charge Active Stylus Pen, designed for 2018 to 2025 Apple iPads. Take your creativity and productivity to the next level. Click the link in the video description to shop now on Amazon.
Imagine walking into your local cinema and seeing a brand new Disney animated film that no one knew existed. Well, it turns out those days are behind us. With over 100 years of history under its belt, Disney has released dozens and dozens of animated feature films in theaters, but more than a handful of projects have unfortunately fallen through the cracks. From the classic Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs to recent releases like Moana 2 and Zootopia 2, Disney's greatest legacy is undoubtedly its ever-growing catalog of animated feature-length movies. However, some of these lost Disney animated movies were announced, in early stages of development, or even deep into production when they were unceremoniously canceled or shelved indefinitely for various reasons. Take Kingdom of the Sun, for instance. This film was heavily promoted by the company before it was suddenly retooled into a completely different movie. On the other hand, we have Gigantic, which was heavily promoted but ultimately ended up in the chopping block. It's fascinating to think about what could have been if these unreleased Disney animated movies had actually seen the light of day. One film that stands out is A Princess of Mars, which eventually transitioned into a live-action movie. This just goes to show how often creative decisions and timing can affect a project's fate. Unfortunately for us, we'll never get to see any of these forgotten films on the big screen. As Horizon Wire, we love exploring the hidden gems and untold stories behind some of our favorite movies. From behind-the-scenes secrets to the inspirations behind beloved characters, we're all about digging deeper to uncover the truth. So, if you're as curious as we are about what might have been if these unreleased Disney animated movies had actually made it into theaters, then you're in luck because today, we're counting down 15 lost Disney animated movies that will never see the light of day. Whether they were doomed from the start by behind-the-scenes creative differences or corporate meddling, or fell victim to unfortunate timing and were inevitably overshadowed by other theatrical releases, there's no denying that these unreleased films are a fascinating part of Disney's history. So, let's take a look at 15 lost Disney animated movies that will never see the light of day. First up, we have Kingdom of the Sun, which was heavily promoted before its retooling into a different film. Next is Gigantic, another film that ended up in the chopping block despite being heavily promoted by Disney. A Princess of Mars, on the other hand, transitioned to live action after its initial cancellation. As we explore these 15 lost Disney animated movies, it's clear that some were introduced as potential new Disney princesses, while others provided long-awaited sequels to beloved films. But ultimately, they never made it into theaters, leaving us with a sense of what could have been if they had seen the light of day. One film that caught our eye is The King and I Too, which was announced in early stages of development before being canceled indefinitely. Another is Winnie the Pooh 3, which was shelved due to creative differences behind the scenes. And let's not forget The Lion King, King of the Jungle, which was ultimately replaced by Mufasa, the Lion King. Throughout our countdown, we'll be exploring each of these lost Disney animated movies in more detail, including the reasons for their cancellation and what could have been if they had actually made it into theaters. Whether you're a die-hard Disney fan or just curious about the behind-the-scenes stories behind your favorite films, this is one countdown that's sure to delight. As Horizon Wire, we're passionate about exploring the uncharted territories of cinema history. From the earliest days of animation to the latest releases from Pixar and beyond, we're always on the lookout for fascinating stories and untold secrets. So join us as we take a deep dive into the world of lost Disney animated movies that will never see the light of day. We've got 10 more films left to explore, including Princess of Mars, Kingdom of the Sun, Gigantic, and The King and I Too. These are just a few of the many lost Disney animated movies that will forever remain in the shadows. But don't worry, we'll be counting down every single one of them, so stay tuned for more. And there you have it, 15 lost Disney animated movies that never got to shine on the big screen. While they may not have made it into theaters, their stories are a fascinating part of Disney's history, And who knows? Maybe one day we'll get to see what could have been if they had actually seen the light of day. That's all for today's episode of Horizon Wire. Thanks for joining us on this journey through some of the most forgotten films in Disney's history. If you liked what you saw, be sure to like and subscribe for more content like this. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring.